welcome to Brand X Reviews. This one I'm going to be doing a review of Homefront, which is the new Jason Statham film. I say new, it's just out on DVD today in the UK. Now it did come out of the cinemas back last year, I think it was in November, but I didn't get a chance to see it. If you've been to the website brandxreviews.com, you'll see a couple of retrospectives that I've done, working on a few future ones as well, kind of reviewing a few Statham films at a time. I called it the Stathathon, so if you look for that word in the video section you will see a couple of ones that I've done. Kind of going through in chronological order, so I'll get through to this one as and when. But point is anyway, big fan of Jason Statham as a lot of people are, and I usually go see his films at the cinema, but this one I didn't, so I'm reviewing the actual video of it. Now, just to be kind of specific, this is the British version. I don't know if there's like an alternate cut of the film, I just mean in terms of the actual DVD itself and the extras. Now, there was a copy of this on Blu-ray, and the extras were exactly the same, so bollocks to it. I'm not going to pay an extra £3 just for a Blu-ray when the DVD is perfectly good quality, and the extras are all the same. So with it you just get like a couple of featurettes that are about, I don't know, 5 minutes each, and also some deleted scenes, about 8 minutes worth of deleted scenes. So that's pretty much all I have to say for the actual DVD itself. The film is very good. It's written by Sylvester Stallone basically, and from what I understand this was actually, I know it's based on a book, but the screenplay was written by Sylvester Stallone. And as I said, from what I understand it was based, well, it was originally going to be a Rambo sequel. I don't know exactly when it was he wrote it, but I imagine it would have been sometime in the 80s or 90s. So I think by this point he'd kind of mothballed it for a while. Obviously his career kind of went on pause for a while through the sort of 90s into pretty much up to when he did Rocky Balboa in 2006. He didn't really do a lot of films, he was kind of an actor for hire. So this film never got made basically, and by the time his career's picked up again, it's not really, he's already done a Rambo sequel, and I don't think this was really ready, so he kind of adapted it for a more modern film with a younger actor. So obviously he's friends with Jason Statham, they work together on a couple of Expendables films. He does actually say this in one of the featurettes. Stallone kind of briefly talks about it and how he's kind of handed the torch over to Statham for this one anyway. But that's kind of a bit of trivia anyway on the film, but it is entertaining. There are some bits in it, I guess it kind of drags. There's a lot of bits where there's not really a lot happening, there's just kind of tension building up. It's character development, I guess, you know, it's an action film, but it's not from start to finish. The action, you know, a few guns are fired in anger kind of thing towards the end, and there's a lot of fist fights. I mean, the actual physical action in this is actually very impressive. Statham does a lot of his own stunts, which is very good to see. You know, when you can see that the actor is doing his own stunts, it's quite impressive, because I know it's not easy. A lot of action stars get kind of criticised for being, you know, rubbish actors or dumb or whatever. At the end of the day, it's performance, and Statham really does deliver on this. You can argue he doesn't really act in it, he just kind of mopes around a lot of the time, like he does in a lot of his films like this. He kind of, you know, he's not quoting Shakespeare or anything like that, but there's different levels of acting, and Statham is very good at what he does. And he's never really branched off. That's another thing that he gets criticised for, that he's typecast well. I don't think he really cares. He knows what he's good at, and he's stuck to it. You know, it's better that than for him to have done a lot of failed films like comedies and romantic comedies and that kind of thing, like a lot of these actors sometimes do, and maybe children's films as well that haven't done all that great. I mean, like I say, he's done a couple of ropey ones, like In the Name of the King. But this is what he's best at. He sticks to what he's doing, and at the end of the day he gets paid for it quite well, so fair play to him, I say. Now, some other good actors in this as well, some really good actors. James Franco, who, I can never remember the name of the film, the Danny Boyle one, is it 128 Hours? I think that's the name of the film. It's the one where he gets caught in a little cavern with his arm trapped in a rock basically through the entire film. That's him. He was also in a few other films. Ones I can remember him being in with Spider-Man trilogy, which aren't great films, but he was actually quite good in them. But this is the guy anyway. He's kind of the I guess he's the main bad guy. He's not the worst bad guy in it. He's kind of a middleman, but he's kind of the main antagonist of the film. And there's a lot of rednecks in this film. There's quite a good line. There's a bit where one of Statham's friends in it gets injured, and he's just kind of slouched in his car, kind of dying, like bleeding to death, and he just goes, "Fucking rednecks." It's really funny. Yeah, pretty much that's the vibe of the film. It's a lot of rednecks with a lot of guns, and I'm not going to go into I'm not going to go into spoilers basically, because it's probably best if you just kind of watch the film for yourself, because that's really what it has going for it, you know, the suspense and not knowing what's going to happen next and where it's going to go. So I don't really want to ruin the film by kind of telling you that. And if you've already seen the film, there's no point in me going over it anyway. So other actors that are in it, it's got Winona Ryder in it, I guess. I haven't really seen her in a lot of stuff. I think the last thing I saw her in was probably Star Trek in 2009. I know she's probably done films since then, but that's the last thing I remember seeing her in. And also A Scanner Darkly as well, a few years before that. There's another good actor in it that's in it fairly briefly, Frank Grillo, who is pretty much the big bad guy in this. He doesn't have a big part in it. He was in the new Captain America film. He was the kind of SWAT type guy that worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. In that film anyway. And he's also been in Prison Break, and he was in Warrior as well, which is another good film. So there's another good actor anyway, basically, that I've seen in a few of the good films. There's also another actress in it. Oh, actually, in fact, yeah, Clancy Brown. That's not an actress, that's an actor. Weird name, Clancy Brown, but known fairly well. Well, best known as the Kurgan in Highlander. He's been in other films like Starship Troopers and Shawshank Redemption. He was a big prison guard guy in that, so you probably would know him if you saw him. But he's got not a minor part in it, but not a massive part, and he's pretty cool in it. And also Kate Bosworth, who was in Superman Returns. Don't really want to say any more about her, just for being in that film, but she's come a long way since Superman Returns to be in a film like this, anyway, let's just put it that way. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I could kind of ramble on. I feel like I'm rambling on a bit now. So, do I recommend this film? Yes, I do. It's not Statham's best film, but it's certainly not his worst anyway. Definitely recommend it. And if you're into action, and don't mind kind of sitting through a lot of plot development, character development with not a lot going on, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So that's my review anyway. If you want to see more reviews, go to brandxreviews.com, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.